Hi, everyone. This is Aaron, and you are listening to Walnut Notes, the official podcast for the members and friends of FCBC Walnut. I'm here with Alice Chin, a mother of two teen boys. Auntie Alice, with the new school year upon us, what is your advice and encouragement for mothers to help their children pursue God while dealing with academics and extracurricular activities?
It's so hard to believe that summer is almost over. Many of our children are starting a new school year in a few days. Being a mother of two teenage boys, I know how much more crazy our lives are going to be. Moving to a new class, meeting new teachers, working with familiar and new classmates, juggling between school and various kinds of activities, pickups, drop-offs, getting your child or children from one activity to another. The list just goes on and on and on. I'm sure every mother is no stranger to all that I just mentioned. But as we are so involved with these day-to-day routines, do we ever wonder where God is in our family life, or more importantly, in our children's lives? Therefore, I would like to address this question. With a new school year upon us, how can we mothers help or encourage children to pursue God while dealing with academics and extracurricular activities? Regardless how busy life is, we mothers can help our children start on the right foot this new school year. As God has blessed us tremendously with opportunities to know Him and love Him, we mothers must also encourage our children to pursue God as they enter this new school year. Here are some simple pointers I would like to share with you based on my personal experience. First, we mothers must believe that God is in control. In another word, God is sovereign. God is in control over our children's lives, including their safety and performance in school and activities. We must remind our children that God is in control and sovereign as well. When our children have a hard time with transitions, schoolwork, and even relationships, we must walk alongside them and remind them that God has this covered. We must encourage them to keep on trying and point out to them any progress they make, even just a tiny bit. Once our children experience the change, they will acknowledge the fact that God is sovereign and in control. They will then trust God with everything they are doing. Second, we mothers must not only pray for our children, but also pray with them. Every morning, pray with your children on the way to school. We can ask God to protect them spiritually, mentally, emotionally, socially, and physically. We can also pray for the Holy Spirit to convict their hearts and help them to make right choices that please God and point others to Jesus. Mothers of elementary school children may pray for them to be kind and compassionate. As we say these prayers before our children, that is, pray with them, they are given the opportunity to witness God's powerful work in their lives throughout the day. If possible, do share a short devotional with your children. If not in the morning, do it at night, before bedtime. Overall, constantly remind the children that God is with them at all times. They definitely can be closer to Him if they choose to. If your schedule does not allow you to pray with your children in the morning, then do so at night. Again, always bring God to your children so that they learn to desire Him on their own. Third, we mothers must demonstrate priority and time management in the light of pursuing God to our children. I'm sure you will agree with me that things just get unbelievably busier as we head further into the year. This is when we mothers must hold down the spiritual fort and instill in our children that God comes first. This means with our best ability, we must come to God's house for scheduled fellowship, Sunday school, worship service, and any ministry meetings that we are committed to. Encourage your children to read the Bible with you daily. Find the right time to do this. For example, after coming home from school, before diving into homework, read a chapter or a passage in the Bible together. Another good time would be after dinner and before getting into any other activities. Read the Bible together. Again, as you guide the children to read the Bible and to pray before doing anything else, you already demonstrate that God comes first as the priority and effectiveness in time management. Last but not least, I would like to encourage all the mothers to take care of your own spiritual health. We mothers set the tone for the family. What we say and do, even our emotions, may affect all the family members, especially our children. Psalm 127 verse 3 says, Behold, children are a gift of the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a reward. Our children are God's gift and reward to us. God has appointed us, mothers, to care for the children. We must not take such calling lightly. Let us lead our children to God. Remind them that God is with them always, and they can choose to be closer to Him. Finally, Deuteronomy 28 verse 1 states, Now it shall be, if you diligently obey the Lord your God, being careful to do all His commandments, which I command you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. So let's encourage our children to pursue God more than anything else, for God has promised us His eternal blessings. I'll be praying for all the mothers and children as we step into the new school year.
Thanks, Auntie Alice, and thank you everyone for listening to our podcast here at FCBC Walnut. Don't forget that you can get all of the episodes of Walnut Notes delivered via YouTube, Spotify, and your favorite podcast players. Just search for FCBC Walnut. And for more resources, visit our church website at fcbcwalnut.org. Thanks. See you soon.